Hi, my name is Caroline Heaney, and in this short video I'll be summarising some of the key findings from some research I've had published in the European Journal of Physiotherapy investigating the impact of a sports psychology education intervention on physiotherapists. The purpose of this research was to measure the impact of an online sports psychology education module on the sports psychology related attitudes and behaviours of qualified sports physiotherapists working in the UK. Currently, there's limited previous research that directly measures the impact of a sports psychology education intervention, and most of the research that does exist examines US athletic trainer populations, most of whom are students. There are four key gaps that our research aimed to address. Firstly, we wanted to look at UK professionals. Secondly, we wanted to look at those who are already qualified. Thirdly, we wanted to see whether there was any longitudinal impact. So is it that you study a course, are you still receiving benefit from it several months down the line, or does it just have a short-term impact? And then finally, as an academic working at the Open University, I was interested to see whether distance learning is an effective modality for busy physiotherapists working in sport. So in terms of methodology, we recruited 95 physiotherapists who were split into two groups. The intervention group studied a module called Sports Psychology for Physiotherapists, and the control group studied an online module titled Strength and Conditioning for Physiotherapists. So both modules were split into 3 units requiring approximately 12 hours of study spread over 3 weeks. And the control group had no sports psychology content in their module. These participants were contacted at 4 times to complete an online questionnaire package. So immediately before they studied the module, immediately after they studied the module, and then we followed up with them again 3 months and 6 months after they completed the module. And we had a questionnaire package that measured various aspects, but most importantly their attitudes towards sports psychology and their sports psychology related behaviours, i.e. how much they use sports psychology strategies and whether they referred athletes to a sports psychologist. So in terms of attitudes towards sports psychology, our first hypothesis was that there would be a significant difference in physiotherapists' attitudes towards sports psychology before and after studying a sports psychology education module, and we accepted that hypothesis. Our second hypothesis was that there would be a significant difference in attitude between the control group and the intervention group, and we also accepted that hypothesis. And as you can see in the graph, it was at the stage immediately following completion of the module that the difference is most significant. In terms of behaviour, specifically looking at the physiotherapist's use of sports psychology related strategies, our first hypothesis was that there would be a significant difference between the physiotherapist's behaviours before and after studying the sports psychology education module, and we accepted that hypothesis. Our second hypothesis was that there would be a significant difference in sports psychology related behaviours between the control group and the intervention group. Now, although we actually rejected that hypothesis because in terms of total score there wasn't a significant difference, what we did find is when we looked at the subscales, there was a particular subscale called sports psychology on the questionnaire, which looked at use of techniques such as self-talk and imagery, which were key strategies that we discussed in the online module. And we found that there was a significant difference between the groups on this subscale. So we felt that whilst the overall total score didn't have an impact, it was quite significant that this particular subscale did show that there was an impact or a difference between the groups. So in conclusion, we reported that our online sports psychology education module did have a positive impact on the attitudes and behaviour of qualified physiotherapists working in sport in the UK. And we think that's really important because physiotherapists have a very close relationship with the injured athlete, and they're in a strong position to offer basic frontline sports psychology support, which can be supported by referral to a sports psychologist or working with a sports psychologist in some kind of way. What's notable is that there are no CPD opportunities addressing the psychological aspects of sports injury for UK physiotherapists at the moment, and that's something that our research is really trying to address. Thank you for listening. I hope you found this presentation useful.